Hey everybody, welcome back. I decided to start this series because I want to get into the habit of recording every day. So I figured I would call it a journal for now rather than call it a daily or even a weekly. I mean, I can't promise anything. I'm just going to give it a shot. So essentially what I'm going to do is I'm going to give a reading for the collective that I'll put at the beginning of every video, and also to talk a little bit about the astrology that we have. Basically, the way I'm building my channel is so that you watch the monthly first, and theoretically that stays relevant to you throughout the month, that you can keep going back to in terms of the astrology that I've put at the top. And then with the journals and with other astrological event specific readings, we'll be carrying the theme through the month. So what do we have today and this week to think about? This particular journal is for May 11th, 2020. And so I'm recording this on the 10th, and today Saturn goes retrograde in Aquarius. So these themes are going to be around the brotherhood, perhaps even, a good look, a review of what it is we think that the age of Aquarius is supposed to be and what it will actually become or what it's becoming. So that's May 10th. Now, May 12th and 13th, that is when Venus goes stationary retrograde in Gemini. So it's going to be all about love relationships, but it's also going to be very much about Gemini themes of communication, and almost, like an extra push with Mercury being Gemini's ruler in terms of the dynamics around what this retrograde season is going to be like. So that's two planets that are just happening this week. The other thing that we have to also be ready for is on May 16th, which is this Sunday, I believe. We have our sun aligning with Alcyon, the galactic center. So as I said in the monthly report, that this is going to be, we're going to be flooded with divine feminine energies, and it's going to be intense, I would imagine. And, it's going to be interesting how this is going to be reflected in world events as much as in our own personal lives. So be prepared. It's fair warning to you. I wouldn't necessarily say that we could blame Alcyon for everything, but if things seem pretty intense starting this Sunday, it's going to be like a 4-day gate. So as we get closer to it, we'll focus a little bit more on what that means for us generally in terms of energies and whatnot. So I think I'm just going to move forward and grab the Rider-Waite to pull one card. That's it. Just one card from Rider-Waite, and then I'm going to do Lenormand and Marcia McLuhan, Distant Early Warning deck. So let's see the sorts of things that we're going to be focusing on today, May 11th. The Five of Cups. So, it was funny because I was reading an article from a psychologist that most of us are heading into, psychologically, statistically wise, the hardest time in terms of being isolated and quarantined and sequestered from society, from social interaction. So if you're feeling emotional this week, if you're grieving things that, I don't know, maybe you even thought you were intellectually over, it would be, with all the retrogrades You know, it'll be about feeling and also about communicating and sharing those feelings. Um, you know, on a community level, on a one-to-one, and you know, we're likely to see more stories in the news in the coming days about people in their struggles with loneliness and isolation. So that's definitely something to be thinking about. You know, I've been trying to emphasize in most of my readings how important self-care is right now for all of us. It really is a time for making sure that everything's okay. So if things are not okay, you know, it's probably not a bad idea this week to reach out for some help. So let's see here what the Lenormand has to say. Well, this is really nice. This is the Lily. It's a beautiful card. Look at that. So the Lily suggests maturity, you know, growing in understanding, you know, there's an emotional intelligence emerging if you're willing to reach for it. You know, out of all the sadness, out of all the loneliness and whatnot, you know, that that at times like these, it's really important that we sincerely enjoy our own company. And if we're not enjoying our own company, it's not because we're not interesting enough or smart enough, or you know, any of the things that makes us feel less than. You know, it really is a time to see, you know, how resilient and how wonderful the human spirit really is in times like these. And you know, a good way to distract yourself from your own sadness is to reach out to someone else and check in on them, or find a way to contribute to something that's taking care of people, whether it be some sort of charity or outreach program. You know, depending on how much our isolation is legislated, you know, I think that it's going to be really important for there to be real tangible support for those who are struggling with mental health issues. So I'm going to move on to Marshall McLuhan's Distant Early Warning deck and see what kind of insight we can get from Marshall. Marshall has really helped me to understand the way media works on individuals and society, and how important it is to be conscious of the kinds of media that you consume. So let's see what, you know, pearl of wisdom Marshall is giving us today. Okay. So the silicone bosom symbolizes the thin edge of the trial balloon. So whatever that means for you, I mean, for me, I'm looking at it as being, you know, representative of the digital age, and how, you know, the thin edge of the wedge of how technology works for us and can work against us is a fascinating subject to explore. So, thank you for joining me today with my first installment of a journal. Boneco's Tarot Journal, I think I'm calling it, yeah. So, now on to your sign-specific reading. Hey Pisces, and this is your tarot journal for May 11th, 2020. Let's see what the tarot has to offer you. Oh, the Knight of Cups. How very Pisces-like this card. So, Pisces, you may be focused on an offer of love. You also could be focused on an apology. You know, your heart is open, and that's a good place to be. And it's also important to remember as a Pisces to take extra special good care of yourself, especially when you're being emotionally vulnerable. So if that's what's being triggered for you today, in the energies of this week, be really good to yourself. Okay, make sure you're taking in things that are truly of comfort to you. So let's see what the Lenormand symbolism has for you today. Loyalty with the dog. Isn't he cute? So, themes of loyalty are really important to you right now. And, you know, maybe that's what the apology is about. Or even the offer of love is from someone who has proven themselves loyal to you over and over again. And especially at this time, loyalty becomes that much more important to all of us. I've always found Pisces to be very loyal in general. You know, they have long memories for the people who have done them good. So let's see what Marshall has to say for you today, Pisces. Come on, Marshall. One for Pisces. Show me one for Pisces. Show me one for Pisces. Must be a good one. I can't wait. No? Wow. Come on. Just one card. There we go. Alright, so we have the Seven of Spades. Violence is the effort to maintain or restore a weakened psyche. Marshall is so wise. Violence is the effort to maintain or restore a weakened psyche. So as we come into these times where we're vulnerable, you know, some of us don't handle our emotions as well as others. And so it's important to remember that those who are expressing violent tendencies are really, basically it's a cry for help. So however that fits into your experience of today and this week, I wish you safety, and I wish you all the best in protecting yourself as you find yourself maybe a little bit more vulnerable this week than you'd like to be. So stay tuned, Pisces. I'll have lots more. Have a great day.